Here is Sotiris from SepticFlesh.
And you're listening to the Phantasm Podcast.
Phantasm.
Maximum terror.
That's your target audience, baby!
Phantasm.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Phantasm.
Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal!
Phantasm.
Hi, this is Dr. Vincent West, medical doctor with the Phantasm Podcast. And I've got one of my favorite bands on today. We've got Sotiris, and he's going to be talking with us from SepticFlesh about their new album, Modern Primitive, which comes out May 20th on Nuclear Blast Records. And how are you doing, sir?
Hi there. I'm really well because I'm anxious for the release of our new album. So far, everything is going well for us. We already have released 3 singles from the album, and the reception is amazing from the people. So soon, really soon, the whole album will be available for everybody. And so now, after all this time of waiting and organizing things, it's time for us to celebrate the release of the album.
Absolutely. And today, I wanted to go track by track with you of Modern Primitive. Let's just jump right into this thing. What can you tell us about The Collector, track 1?
Well, The Collector is a song that was composed by Seth. He had this idea of incorporating to the music those elements of traditional music that give this spice of something more ancient and natural. And about the lyrics of the song are based upon a story that I created. The story is about someone that is an occult collector, and he tries to find all the pieces of Osiris. For those that are not aware about the story of Osiris, he was betrayed by Seth and he was killed, and his body parts were scattered in order never to return from the dead to the living. But somehow all the parts were found except one, and so he was reconnected and returned from the dead. So in the specific story, the collector tries to find the lyrics, the relics that have this kind of weird connection with Osiris, and he thinks that if he finds all the parts, he will become immortal, like a new god.
That's amazing. That's very interesting. It's a hell of a way to kick the album off as well. And then track 2, and can you help me with the pronunciation of track 2? Hierophant? Hierophant?
Yes, right. Well, Hierophant is a word that derives from ancient Greece. Actually, the Hierophants were the first priests, you can say, the people that had the responsibility to connect the mortals with the gods. And in a general sense, it's someone that symbolizes the priesthood, someone that unveils the will of the gods. So in the specific story, for this song, next one, Hierophant and Selfeater, I created the story of salvation. So the second and third track from the album are connected thematically. In this story, I I used strong symbolism from the tarot cards, that there is actually a Hierophant figure, because I find it really a good opportunity to use already strong symbolism that it is on the tarot cards, and in this case the Hierophant is a reversed Hierophant. It is someone that is against conformity, because the Hierophant symbolizes conformity, and the specific tried to become a priest. He really wanted to be connected with his God, but he learned, everything, to play his role, to say the words, but eventually he realized that he was not what he wanted to be. He was not in a true connection, because he had never heard a word from his God. So how could he be the mouth of God? And so he was obsessed and used alternative means in order to reach his goal, forbidden means, and so he became something really distorted. He connected with something primeval and chaotic, symbolized also by the fire that burns everything and destroys everything, but he has also power. And this is the next story that is told on Selfeater.
Yeah, and both the first two tracks are amazing. Yeah, let's talk about Selfeater.
Yeah, well, this is the continuation of the story. Also, if you'll notice, the music has a connection between Selfeater and Hierophant. You can hear the main theme of Hierophant also in Selfeater,
right,
in the choir. So it is a direct connection, and that's why I had the opportunity this time to spread the story between those two songs, because they were already connected musically. And so it's the continuation of the story. So the entity that Hierophant summoned takes the lead and speaks, and also makes Hierophant face his biggest fears. It is the path of the magicians, you can say. It's stepping into the horror zone, and if you survive the ordeal, you become something else, something new. And the end of the story is open to interpretation. Actually, Hierophant obtained what he wanted, but it was not what he thought it will be.
It's incredible. I love all of the you guys do it with each record, but this record is so powerful, all of the storytelling, as well as the music. And then let's see, track 4, Neromancer.
Yeah, well, this track is a reference to William Gibson, a pioneer in the cyberpunk genre of science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I always searched, waited for the chance to put something from cyberpunk into SepticFlesh. I found the music of this song that fitted really well, because it has a strong dramatic element, and the main character, a computer hacker that has his nervous system damaged as punishment, fitted really well, in my opinion, to the music, and so this is the main story behind the music. Also, the music, the the song was created basically also by Seth. He did an amazing job for this album, Seth. And he created the skeleton of the song using a 12-string electroacoustic guitar.
Oh, wow.
And he wanted, with this way to emulate the natural feeling. And later, a lot of the melodies were spreaded, and as Christos was involved into the arrangement,
right.
He took a lot of parts of the melodies and gave them to different instruments, symphonic instruments. We have also a section in the middle of the song with mandolin that gives this specific Mediterranean emotion and atmosphere to the song. We have all kind of vocals in this song. We have Michaeline vocals. We have also female vocals and choir. It's a really theatrical song, you can say. It has also a really heavy riff as a main riff. I think it's one of the songs that stand out, and that's why it was chosen to be one of our singles.
Yeah, it's a fabulous track. And let's see, the next track. Let's see, track 5, Coming Storm.
Yeah, well, this track was composed by Christos. He composed the whole track symphonically, and he provided to us a rough version of the music.
Right.
Played with samples at first, in order for us to grasp the main character of the song. And then we had to figure out how to put the metal element to the song. This is an advanced way of creating music that we do in some songs every time in each album.
Right.
So this song is this way. First, the symphonic element was brought to the table, and then we had to figure out the metal element. Then for this song, the one that was responsible to bring the guitars and the other stuff was Saikon. So it's the first recordings of the first riffs that Saikon, our live guitarist for the band for many years, brought to the table.
Nice.
And now, Saikon is now a full member of the band.
Awesome.
This album. He did an amazing job because it is a really difficult song, and difficult because it has this orchestra that is chaotic and really powerful, powers everything. But he found solutions for the guitar and the rhythm, and then Seth had these ideas about how to put the vocals, and at the end,
right.
As he created the lyrics for the song, I also thought about putting some clean vocals at the end,
mm-hmm.
in order to elevate the song and have this after the storm, with this calm feeling of release, of relief, of something more dramatic and emotional.
Sure.
And lyrically speaking, the storm is what we have created. It's the mistreatment that we have done to nature, that eventually has an answer. It returns back to us, and it is about consequences and why it's really important for someone that has the power to make radical changes,
sure.
to his environment, to be really careful.
It's an amazing track. Like I said, this whole album is just unbelievable to listen to all the way through. And thank you for sharing on that one. So track 6, A Desert Throne.
Yeah. Well, this is a song that I created. I had this basic idea, the intro, this melody in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I built the whole song about above this melody. From day one, I wanted this melody to be provided to the choir, and I gave it to Christos in order to see how he will arrange the melody, and he provided the melody to the children choir, and that's why it's so airy and so warm and at the same time epic. And it's a song that has a lot of guitar melodies. Some of the melodies were taken from other instruments at the end. So we decided when we had everything recorded and we made the final decisions, we decided that some melodies will better sound from the orchestra section because it was also a matter of frequencies.
Sure.
And when you have many instruments playing the same things, from one point and after they eat each other. So it's essential to make the proper choices in order for the composition to breathe. And so the song turned out really well, I think. It has a really solid atmosphere from beginning to end. And I think it's one of the songs that are really hook, something that hook to your mind, the main melody.
That's actually my favorite track on the album.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. You really knocked it out of the park there. It's a wonderful track. And again, thanks for sharing on that one. And then track 7, Modern Primitives, the title track.
Yeah. Modern Primitives, as you can imagine, is the track that provided the title in a manner for the album.
Sure.
Although it's in the plural in the specific song. The song has a lot of thoughts. Actually, has my questions about the situation that we are living right now. I was affected by the whole pandemic situation and the lockdowns and everything, and it was time for me to think deeply and pose a lot of questions. And the songs like this one are representative of my way of thinking and the questions that I have. And the main question is where we are going as a species. Are we aware that we are going to something that is not what we dreamed of? Because we are like a king that is not fit to rule. And our actions are chaotic. We cannot coordinate as a species. We are divided. And what we do is against us. So this is the main element of the song, and also a dominant element in the album. Now, considering the music of the song, there are a lot of changes from really heavy grooves and riffs to atmospheric parts, and also there are also clean vocals to this one. And my approach was for this one more in the classical metal orientation of vocals. I think it is also one of the songs that make a difference in the album. It gives, I think, a different perspective of our music, some new elements to the music of SepticFlesh, and I'm curious to see how people will react to this song. Now,
knowing the lyrics behind that, thank you for sharing that. That's profound. I love it. It's It's really cool. Like, I really like the song. I like it even more now knowing what it's about with your... I agree with you on your worldview there. I think it's incredible. As us as a species, that's brilliant. So thank you. That was amazing. Let's see. Track 8, Psycho History.
Yeah. Well, for this song, I collaborated heavily with Cream, our drummer. Cream is an amazing drummer.
Absolutely.
But also has a lot of ideas for guitars, and he provided the starting point for the song, the basic riff, and I had the responsibility to develop the riff and find all the other missing parts for the song, and so I took the basic rhythm of Cream and the basic riff and developed it, creating the couplet and the continuation of the song. On some point also Christos provided this symphonic element that in my opinion has a closer connection to communion stuff. It reminded me this mood of communion, and so I took all those elements and tried to make the song really hard, really heavy and rhythmical from start to end. A song that is dominant from the rhythm, and so that way also through this song we leave Cream to provide his element also to our music. And about the lyrics of the song, I was inspired by the conjunction of two different types of views. The scientific views, the scientific view of psychology and history. There is a hybrid, you can say, type of science,
right,
that combines those two, and this type of science has the task to find the questions, because history provides the actual events, the time, the names, what happened, when, where, etc. But psychology tries to find the answers. Why? Why at a specific point of time people reacted in a specific way? Why the leaders took those specific decisions? What was their background, their childhood, their psychology? It's really interesting stuff. I find it really interesting, and it gives a substance to the events, because all events are created by humans, and the flows also of the human psyche is a dominant factor for the creation of really intense events, as wars, as also some good events, and also it's really interesting the notion that what we learn from history is something idealized, and for those that win and remain as winners in history, there is no much information about their weaknesses, and surely all have weaknesses and some darkness inside them.
That's incredible. It's another amazing track on this masterpiece of an album you guys have put out, or putting out. Track 9, A Dreadful Muse, the final track.
that's another song that I created. I tried with this song to push myself and find some new ways of riffing in order to push the band and out from our comfort zone, considering riffs. And so I attempted to make something more modern on the riff section. Also in this song there are a lot of melodies. It's a combination of melodic and attacking stuff. I think it represents also something new for the band. It has a lot of new elements on the table. Now considering the lyrics of the song, it's one of the songs that refers to what's going on in our days and what involves considering relationships and considering the loss of humanity, because as we are close to ourselves and to our homes and in distance and work from distance and do everything from distance, we forget how to touch and how to move, as the lyrics say.
Right.
We become less and less emotional beings and more mechanical beings, like biological machines. And the lyrics are a kind of warning about this direction of evolution.
Modern Primitive, this album is fabulous, and I cannot thank you enough for sharing all the stories behind each track. It's an incredible record, and I've always thought you were a fabulous songwriter. And even more so, this record is outstanding, sir. Real quick, before I let you go, can you tell us a little bit about the cover art for this new album?
Yes, of course. The cover and all the artwork of SepticFlesh is created by Seth. So all of the art of SepticFlesh is 100% created by the members of SepticFlesh. This is a privilege that we have. Seth is a really known artist. In the past, he has done a lot of exhibitions with his works. He also created a lot of covers for other bands.
Right.
He has created covers for Paradise Lost, for Exodus, for Machine Head now, the new cover.
That's awesome.
What?
I said that's amazing.
Yes. He has created and still creates a lot of artwork. He has a very distinct style. He's recognizable, I think. And anyway, in our case, of course, as it's his band, he has contributed a lot of inside information using symbols directly deriving from the lyrics and the music of the album. So it's a really good representation of the album. He created two different covers. He had a lot of ideas, and actually our choice for the CD cover was based upon the simplicity, because the second cover that he created is composed by more than 100 layers.
Oh, wow.
Different layers with different stuff going on, different figures, backgrounds. It's the cover with a bubble on the behind, and statues and human figures and animals and whatever. If you find the chance to see the cover that it is on the vinyl, this specific cover is for the vinyl of Modern Primitive. you will find yourself get lost inside, be drawn inside this artwork with so many details, and that's why we decided that this cover was more appropriate for the bigger surface of a vinyl cover. Now there are so many symbols used. What can I say? We can speak for a long time and revealing stuff, about the symbolism. But I think in general that both covers are representative of the concept and the general artistic way of SepticFlesh.
Absolutely, and he's a very, very talented artist, as well as musician, of course. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this today. Guys out there listening, Modern Primitive is available from SepticFlesh through Nuclear Blast Records on May the 20th. And, sir, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this today. This has been fantastic.
Thank you also for your support. And I want to thank all people that embraced our music. We are not a new band. We have a long time of creation, and many people supported us. And now it's time for us to present our next opus, that it is Modern and Primitive. I hope you will enjoy it.
Phantasm.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Phantasm.